Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE News and Rumors. I'm your host, Mr. Brandon Hodge. This video is brought to you by SeatGeek. If you guys are looking for tickets for any event in the entire world, does not have to be wrestling related, go ahead and use code Hodge on SeatGeek and save yourselves $20 freaking off your tickets. Alright guys, so I'm now finally back home here to Tennessee. It has been a very crazy long past week. So if you guys don't know, I went on this like extravagant crazy trip all the way out west. I went to a house show in New Mexico for some reason. I don't know. I'm a crazy guy. I went to a WWE house show in New Mexico. So if you haven't seen that vlog, check it out. But I also did like a bunch of non-wrestling vlogs. I know the viewership isn't really there for the non-wrestling vlogs, but they're there for those interested. And I actually did have a wrestling match with a freaking alien in the middle of the Roswell, New Mexico desert. So if you guys didn't check that out, definitely do that. And I'll leave links at the end of this video. But anyway, guys, we got some news to talk about. We got some rumors to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump in here. So the first news story of the day, the first and only news story of the day is going about this WWE pay-per-view schedule. So if you guys don't know about this, the WWE go ahead and went and announced for like the first time ever the pay-per-view schedule for the whole next year, like the locations, dates, and all. So let's go through this. It does appear that there may be some dates missing from this. At least I hope there is. So let's go and kick this off. So January 1st, we already know day one is going to be in Atlanta. That's going to be the day one pay-per-view, brand new WWE pay-per-view. Then move on to January 29th. Of course, it is now Royal Rumble season, so it's going to be Royal Rumble in St. Louis, Missouri. They've announced that. Now move on to Dallas. We have WrestleMania, and at WrestleMania they went ahead and announced that WrestleMania once again, for some reason, will not be a one-night event. It will be, once again, a two-night event. So it's going to be April 2nd, April 3rd will be WrestleMania in Dallas. Move on after WrestleMania. And this is an interesting point. There is no pay-per-view that they have scheduled between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. It's just Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. That's it. There's nothing in between like there usually is. So there should be something in between. I would hope there would be a pay-per-view in February or March, because if not, there's 2 months with no pay-per-view. So they're going to have to figure that out, because that's just weird. But anyway, after WrestleMania, we move on to May 8th. It will be a pay-per-view. A name pay-per-view. We don't know what kind of pay-per-view, but it's being in Providence, Rhode Island. Move on, we have another mystery pay-per-view. We don't know what it's going to be. All we know is it's going to be on June the 5th in Chicago, Illinois. Now that's going to bring us on to July 2nd. We know what July 2nd is going to be because they announced it like way back. So July 2nd is actually going to be Money in the Bank, and that's once again going to be in the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, the same place that SummerSlam this past year was held. Move on, after that, we have July 30th, SummerSlam. SummerSlam's going to be in July for the first time. I don't know if it's ever, but a first time in my recent memory. July 30th, SummerSlam is going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, which is a very big deal. For me especially, because I live in Tennessee. Nashville's only like a 4-hour drive. Like when I went to SummerSlam this past year, I had to fly all the way to Las Vegas, which you know is like, what, like 2,000 miles or something. Now Nashville, Tennessee is only like 300 miles from my house. So I'm very excited that Nashville is getting SummerSlam. Is a big deal, and I definitely will be at SummerSlam in Nashville, so that's going to be really cool. But move on to September 3rd. We don't know what's happening in August, so it's kind of weird. September 3rd, September 4th is a mystery pay-per-view in a mystery location. We have no idea where that's going to be. And the final thing they've announced for the 2022 year is going to be November the 26th. Survivor Series is going to be in Boston, which is an interesting choice to put, you know, Survivor Series back in the Northeast, considering Survivor Series is going to be in New York City this year. And then for next year, it's going to be in Boston, which they're not kind of that far apart. They're both in the Northeast. It's kind of weird they give Survivor Series both of the Northeast, but they did owe Boston a large show. If it wasn't SummerSlam, it would have to be Survivor Series. So yeah, that is what they have announced so far. Obviously, there should be something for December of that year. There should be something for August. There should be something between Rumble and Mania. But as of right now, it does look like there's a few missing dates. So we'll just have to wait and see what they do on that. But that's what they've announced so far for the 2022 year for the pay-per-views. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so that's actually the only confirmed news stories I had to talk to you guys about today. But don't you dare go anywhere, guys. Go ahead and get your juice boxes out, get your juice boxes ready. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to talk about some juicy rumors. So the first rumor of the day is going to have to go with what we just talked about, the pay-per-view schedule list for 2022. So basically, there's that mystery date. It was either going to be it's either going to be September 3rd or September 4th. One of those days there will be a pay-per-view in a mystery location, a mystery pay-per-view. Now, the rumor here is actually saying that pay-per-view, the reason the mystery is the only mystery location on like the whole list for 2022 is because they're actually trying to make this take place in the UK. So we have not had a pay-per-view in the UK in a very long time. They're actually trying to do this. So they're trying to have this pay-per-view in the UK. My guess is, obviously they're probably going to go for England. They're probably going to go for like I would imagine London would be the place to do this pay-per-view, to have a big, like the first big wrestling, or not want to say wrestling, but first big WWE pay-per-view in years in the UK. London would be a good place to do it. But as of right now, there's nothing confirmed, but the current rumor is that this mystery date, this mystery pay-per-view will actually be taking place somewhere in the UK. Alright, let's go to the next rumor. The next rumor is going to be about Bray Wyatt as well as Braun Strowman. So apparently TNA Impact Wrestling has been trying to sign them both for a while, especially Bray, but just they don't seem to be interested in it. And I can't really blame them that Bray and Braun are not interested in going to Impact Wrestling. I'm sure they would be more interested in AEW or something else, but as of right now, they are actual free agents in the wrestling business. They could show up at any company in the entire world, just probably not Impact, because it doesn't seem they have no interest in that, which I cannot blame them one bit. There's been rumors going around for a while. They've been trying to sign Bray, and I'm like, Bray doesn't belong there. He belongs in a higher up, like, more prestigious wrestling company than someone who's gone like bankrupt like a million times. And AEW's been signing people left and right. I don't necessarily agree with them like signing just every single person. I know they haven't signed everyone that's been released from the WWE, but they've signed a lot of people I feel like could have been better fits somewhere else. But AEW, they're going to do their best. I mean, the thing is with these released WWE talents is people that WWE really didn't know what to do with. They're extremely talented or whatever. They just didn't have an opportunity to show their talents or whatever, and AEW's giving them an opportunity, which is absolutely great. But like a high up like talent like Bray Wyatt, I believe AEW, this would be like on one of AEW's like top of the list to sign. Alright, the next rumor. I don't know where to step with this one. Now, take this with a grain of salt. I don't know what's true in this. I don't know what's not true in this. It's about Charlotte Flair. So Charlotte Flair, there's been this rumor going around that like last week, she had to be kicked out. I don't know if it was Raw or SmackDown, but one of the shows, she had to be kicked out of the arena because she was acting crazy or something. And she tried to start like fights backstage, and they had to get security to actually kick Charlotte out of the building. It's like, whoa, what? Okay, what is real here? What is storyline? What is just gossip? I have no clue. I'm totally lost in this whole situation. Apparently, Charlotte Flair's had a lot of difficulties working with creative. She's just not interested in certain plans. She's been causing a lot of conflict. She didn't want to work with certain wrestlers. She didn't want to lose certain wrestlers. Apparently, her and Becky Lynch got into like a verbal altercation, if you will. They were just like yelling at each other. And apparently, this was in Gorilla's position right in front of Vince McMahon or something, and something went crazy. And there's like this crazy way out, which I'm pretty sure this part of the rumor is completely fake. That Charlotte got so mad that she went back to Becky Lynch's stuff and started cutting up Becky Lynch's like clothes and stuff. I don't believe that was true. I don't think it went that far. I believe that may just be like people just trying to create more to the fire or whatever. But apparently, there's been some issues. I mean, Charlotte has gone kind of a bit crazy on television. Obviously, I mean, her match with Nia, she started like actually fighting, which I was blaming Nia for that, and I'm still blaming Nia for that, but still, I don't know. But apparently Charlotte, as we saw on TV, she threw the championship down on the ground, which is something you never do as a champion. It's this prestigious thing. You're supposed to, like, treat it very nice, not throw it down on the ground. And something else, she's been flipping off, like, the crowd, flipping off the cameras and something, and obviously WWE's PG, that's something you can't do. So, I mean, there's been some issues. I don't know how large of issues, I don't know how much of this is blown out of proportion, how much of this is true and not true. I'll let you guys be the judges in the comments. But basically, Charlotte went a little off the handle. I don't know what this has to do with. I don't know if she's just having a tough time in her personal life. I don't know if it's because WWE fired her freaking at least boyfriend, if not fiance at this point, Andrade. I don't know if it has something to do with that. I'm not saying it does. All I'm saying is Charlotte appears to be having a difficult time even maybe if this comes out to be true, but in any case, she is doing some edgy stuff on screen, and I don't know if that's something she got approved for or not, and we don't know what's true and what's not true here. We'll just have to wait and see. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the fun news here, the final thing I'll be talking about inside this episode of WWE News Rumors. This will be about our tribal chief, our current Universal Champion, Mr. Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns has had that title for a very long time now. Why is he keeping it so long? What is the plan? Well, the plan has been for a while, and I talked about this a while ago, that the plan was Roman to keep the title to beat Brock's, reign, and that's still apparently the plan. But the plan in more detail is that Roman, they're wanting to make him, this is the line they use, the greatest WWE champion of all time. I know he's not the WWE champion, but he's a champion in the WWE. He's the Universal Champion. So he's a champion in the WWE. They want to make him the greatest champion of all time. They want to make him the longest reigning champion of all time. I don't know if they're going after like Bruno, where it's like 8 years they're keeping the title, but at least of the modern era. And Brock has that definitely, because Brock's over like 500 or maybe even 600 days or something as champion. So they want Roman to beat that. And apparently for WrestleMania 38, the main event will actually be Roman versus Brock Lesnar once again. That's going to be WrestleMania 38. But apparently Roman's going to retain at 38 again, because they want Roman to be undisputedly the greatest champion in the history of the WWE. He's going to have to keep beating these giant people that he has really never been able to beat with ease before, but now he's just the greatest, and now he can beat him with ease because he has this new heel gimmick, I guess. But yeah, that's the current plan for Roman Reigns. They want to make him the greatest champion of all time, the longest reigning champion of all time. So I don't know how long they're keeping the title on the guy. They may go after Bruno and keep the title for 8 years. I don't know. We will just have to wait and see. So there you guys have it. That's actually going to do it for this episode of WWE News and Rumors. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Right now on the screen, I'm going to leave a link to 2 previous videos for you guys to check out, as well as a button to subscribe to the channel if you guys happen to be brand new here. But I am Brandon Hodge, and I will see you guys in the next video.